Hi guys, Kaychak here, World of Warcraft Billionaire, and today we are looking at my zero effort farming technique that gets me up to 25 times more loot. I love this because it's almost completely AFK, so this is something I run whilst either doing other forms of gold making on other accounts, playing other games, or watching YouTube, etc. I'll be straight up with you here, this requires multiple accounts, so it's not practical for everyone. But if you're someone who invests a lot of time into farming, then this could well be a great thing to be doing, as the gold cost of the subscriptions on multiple accounts could easily pay for itself if you play enough. Multiboxing has been banned for a long time at this point, but that doesn't mean you can't use multiple accounts for farming. In its most simple form, if you have a static farm, you can literally just sit your accounts here at the location where the mobs die. You can farm on one account as usual, the other accounts are just literally there just to loot the mobs to increase your gold per hour. This doesn't mean that these accounts are useless. If they are monks, for example, the taunt statues can be extremely useful in positioning mobs to make farming more efficient on top of the extra loot that you are getting. Let's say you are running a static farm that gives you 10k gold per hour. If a token is costing 300k gold, then the first 30 hours a month you farm on each account is lost or basically spent for the game time for that account. In this example, if you farm for less than 30 hours a month, then you are making a loss from doing this. The cost of the game time is more than the gold you are making from it. Now what happens when we get past that point of paying for the game time on each of the accounts? Well, now that 10k hour farm is worth 5 times or 50k an hour. If you are someone who farms a lot, more than what you'd need to pay for a token each month, and you run farms that can be done in a reasonably static manner, then just having extra accounts sat around to loot can massively boost your gold per hour. That is all good, but if you watch the channel, you know I prefer much lazier farming techniques. So this is the method I use to get about 25 times the normal loot while running mostly AFK farms. This is the setup on the big red raygun toy farm. I have picked this farm in particular because the mob we need spawns fast, every 7 minutes or so it demonstrates the process I'm going through better. When I'm running this normally, I would usually pick something that is much more valuable to farm, and because it's much more valuable, it would usually have a longer spawn timer. Basically, I picked a much less AFK farm than usual for demonstration purposes. What we have here then is 5 accounts sat AFK camping a rare or anything else that is worth farming that has a spawn timer. The most important thing here is that they are not grouped at all and are all in different phases. What we have is a macro to invite all the other characters we are farming with, just to make this more efficient. Now as soon as the thing we want to kill spawns, we are going to invite all the other characters with the macro and bring them over to our phase. Getting the various characters into different phases is really important, so there are steps you can take to make this much more likely. All the characters being on different servers is the most obvious, but the server choices do matter. Picking low population realms increases the chances of any rares being up, as there are usually less players about to kill them. More important than that is to pick servers with different languages. In the EU, for example, if you're on a French speaking server, you won't be in the same phase as someone on an English speaking server usually. On the US region, this works quite well with Latin America and Oceanic realms as well. Basically, just maximise the chances of being in different phases by maximising the variety of the servers you are on. Now, in the last example we gave, we were actively farming on one character and looting on 5 to give us 5 times normal loot. With this setup, things are a bit different. Now, every time we get a spawn on any of the phases, all of these are going to group up and use the phase hop, which sounds like 5 times normal loot, but it's not. It's 25 times normal loot. If you were farming this on a single character, then it would be about 1 rare every 7 minutes, which is its spawn timer. Now, with a 7-minute spawn timer, each character can loot in every single phase every 7 minutes. Now, realistically, one of your characters can end up getting stuck in a phase with the others, but generally this works really well. Now, like I said at the start, I use this farm for demonstration purposes only. In reality, I use this to farm things that have a much longer spawn timer, but because spawn timers are longer, this means that the farms are usually worth a lot more gold and are a lot more AFK than you are seeing here. Killing 5 mobs every 7 minutes isn't exactly mega active farming, but I usually want it to be even much more AFK than this. Doomlord Kaychak in Hellfire Peninsula from the Burning Crusade, for example, drops valuable stuff because of the long spawn timer, but I'm happy to camp him on 5 low population servers at once. But you can literally do this with anything in the game. Usually it's actually funnier that it works the longer the spawn time, the better it is, because it's worth more gold and you're killing it with many characters at once. As far as I'm concerned, this is the best, almost completely AFK farming method. It's effectively 25 times more loot compared to a single character camping spawns. If you want to run around and actively farm, maybe not, you can get a higher gold per hour, but you're not going to find a better AFK method. Additionally, just because you want to actively farm doesn't mean you couldn't run several of these in the background whilst you are doing that. That is why I run this a lot of the time while I'm gold making on other accounts, whilst doing this with minimal effort in the background. Anyway, I hope this has given you something to think about. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.